Hello everyone, I'm Jamie Allardyce, principal of Nystrom Elementary, and we are so excited to welcome folks back to in-person learning this coming Monday, August 16th. With that, we have some important information to share, lots of safety protocols we want to make sure you are aware of, so please stay with us for the next couple of minutes as we go over some important information. So first, the bell schedule is exactly as it was pre-COVID, meaning school starts just shy of 8:28 or 8:30. That first bell rings at 8:28. And for grades TK through 3, students get out at 2:30 most days. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. On Wednesdays, TK through 3 get out at 1 o'clock. 4 through 6 start at the same time, 8:28. And on Wednesdays, they get out at 1 o'clock. Every other day of the week, they get out at 2:50. There are a handful of days that are non-Wednesday early dismissal days, and they start at the same time, 8:28, and get out at 1:45 for TK through 3 and 4 through 6 for upper grades. There are very few days throughout the year in which those take place. You can see the dates on the bottom of this slide. Most importantly, Monday, August 16th, is one of those days, meaning on Monday, school will get out at 1:45 and 2:05 for students. When people come on Monday, here are a couple of things we ask that you bring. A mask. Every student needs to have a mask on while at school. Tablet and charger. So if you were with us last year, you should have your tablet and charger. Please bring that back. Bring a backpack. And I'll talk about food later, but just know that breakfast and lunch will be provided for all students. And if you want to bring your own food, students may. We have a number of forms for families to fill out as we start the year. Many of these are standard, and there's going to be one new one. So first, the standard ones. Income forms, annual forms are all done online, and those you've done every year. We'll ask you to do those again. Emergency card is important to have. The one new one is the COVID testing registration. I'll talk more about COVID testing later, but we are asking that all students and staff who are not vaccinated get tested regularly to ensure our campus is safe. So one of the things that will change in school in this post-COVID era is where students enter and exit campus. So we do ask that students come arriving with a mask, but if they don't have one, there will be a staff member at the gate who will give them one. Their temperatures will also be taken as they arrive to ensure they don't have a fever as they come to school. And this will be a big shift. We ask that when students arrive, they go directly to where they line up. And if you need to, you can bring a book to entertain yourself, but we will not have all 500 kids playing on the yard at one time before school for safety purposes. Finally, and this is also a big shift, we can only have staff and students on campus right now. So families may meet their students outside the gate at dismissal. You may drop them off at the gate, but we cannot have you on campus. Another shift, this gate hopefully looks familiar for those of you who are here in pre-COVID times. This gate is what we used for everyone to get dismissed at back when we were in the building a year and a half ago. When we arrive on Monday, we're asking that kinder and first grade students only enter here, and our upper grade students meet at the larger gate very close by. For those of you who are here in the spring or summer, this is the gate we used in spring and summer, and we will have this gate open as well for 2nd through 6th grade students. The gate on South 12th Street will be open as well. If you haven't already downloaded the Class Dojo app, please do so. It is how we communicate with you a lot. Your teachers can communicate with you. The office staff can. We will also make sure you are receiving calls and texts from us on a regular basis, so make sure we have your correct number. And we have a newly revamped website, nystromeelementary.org. You can go there. We will update a section on tools for families regularly as well. As always, you can call us 510-231-1406. So let's take a couple minutes and talk about safety protocols. There's a lot of information on these slides, and I'll make sure you have a copy of them, but I'm going to highlight some of the most important details on these following slides. So first of all, know that as we return to school, the most important thing is the health and safety of our staff and students. And so a lot of thought and safety measures have been put in place to ensure that we all remain safe. All of these guidelines are in accordance with the California Department of Public Health. Also, I would just say that we're in a dynamic situation, meaning things are changing. And so some of this information may shift as we move forward. So masks. As I mentioned earlier, everyone on campus, staff and students, need to wear a mask. Inside and out, we're asking everyone to wear a mask. Even if staff is vaccinated, they still need to be masked. Students need to be masked at all times. If you need a break, that is okay. You can take a quick mask break outside, but the most important thing is that students have their masks on all day long. We will work with our students if that is a big challenge, but we had a lot of success with this in the spring and the fall, and we do need everyone to wear a mask at school. Physical distancing. So when we came back to school in the spring, we were trying to keep everyone 6 feet apart in accordance with the guidelines. That has shifted. So as of right now, physical distancing is not required by the CDPH. We are trying to create 3 feet of physical distance when possible. And in some cases, it is not possible. So we are not going to have big assemblies in the cafeteria, at least for now. And if we do gatherings, we will do them outside, but many of them we will not be doing. As I mentioned earlier, for right now, we can only have staff and students on campus. If you do need to come on campus, the front office is open. We'll allow a limited number of people in the front office at one time. And if you need to be anywhere else on campus, you will need to make an appointment with the front office staff, whether that's with a teacher or other staff member, before you come. Meals, I mentioned this earlier, but breakfast and lunch, just as they were previously, will be provided for all students free of charge. And so a couple of small changes here. Breakfast will still be eaten in the classroom. Our desks are facing forward. And so in those small chunks of time, our students will have their masks off while they eat. In the cafeteria, all of our tables will be facing forward so that students are not facing each other. And when possible, we will have some students eating outside as much as possible. Recess time. So we are asking that everyone, staff and students, continue to wear masks outside during recess. And before students go to recess and after they come in, they will be sanitizing their hands. We have created more recesses so that the groups of kids outside at one time are smaller groups of kids. And the equipment is allowed to be shared because we know that COVID is not really transmitted on objects being passed from one object to another. Finally, if you've been following the news, you know that the Delta variant is a definite threat, and the biggest thing we can do is promote vaccination. So while many of our students are not yet old enough to get vaccinated, the adults around our students definitely can if you haven't already. And then from there, the other mitigation strategies, the biggest one you've heard me talk a lot about is masking. Physical distancing, we talked a little bit about that. Screening, so COVID testing, and we'll get to that in a moment. Ventilation, so we are lucky to have lots of windows as well as updated ventilation here, and hand washing. Finally, is important if you're feeling sick or your student is feeling sick, you need to stay home. So let's talk for a moment about COVID testing. So all employees and students are encouraged to get vaccinated, but many of our kids are not yet 12, so they can't get vaccinated, right? So anyone can get tested here at school, who's staff or students, they will be here every week to do COVID testing. Our district has partnered with Predicine Laboratories, and so there will be a registration process, meaning some forms you have to fill out in order to get tested. You do not need to have health insurance in order to get tested. With this, we're asking that all students get tested at the start of the school year, and then each week we'll do random asymptomatic testing, meaning some kids will get tested every week as a follow-up to just monitor this situation. You will be notified of the results either by email or text, and all of Predicine's employees are HIPAA trained. Here are the COVID symptoms on the left: a fever of over 100.4, cough, difficulty breathing, fatigue, body aches, headache, nausea, sore throat, diarrhea, nasal congestion, chills, or sudden loss of taste and smell. If your student is experiencing those, please do keep them home. The chart on the right is our district's COVID assessment tool, and it's really how decisions are made when COVID does arise in a school or community. Finally, in terms of if we need to close a classroom or school, that is a decision that is made in collaboration with our district leaders and the county health department. We have a COVID response team, and they will provide guidance to sites. So hopefully it doesn't come to that, but a little bit of information there. And that is it. I know you have lots more questions, but those are the most important things for getting you here on Monday. Again, school starts 8:30 on Monday. We look forward to seeing so many of you back in person, and stay safe, mask up. We'll see you soon.